And a good handicap it is too, €50,000 for the Joe McGrath handicap, a Premier handicap. Non-runner is number 4, Mr. Trader, so we've got a field of 11. No show of betting through as yet. Only Spoofing well back for this, trained by Jed O'Keefe up in Yorkshire, and another British Raider. British Raider took the previous race, of course. There was good money for Only Spoofing earlier on today. That is Abstraction in shot. Ben Cohen will get on board that one and claim £7, which would be useful. Now, mentioned Only Spoofing have been the subject of good support. We can have a look at Only Spoofing in action, and in seeing Only Spoofing, we will also see Aminat and a couple of others, actually. Dali as well, I think, is in this clip. So we've got a whole host of runners reopposing here from this race at Navan.
Mr. Trader, yeah, Mr. Trader out in front is a non-runner today, but as you say, there's the first 3 home, all reopposing. I thought Only Spoofing did really well to win that day because it had to get by Mr. Trader and Dali. The favourites actually in the Tabor Silks on the outside, but you know, I don't see anything wrong with this form. Fair enough, he's been put up, like, he's £4 higher today, but remember, he's actually up £6 because everything was dropped £2, if you know what I mean, a few weeks back. So as a result of that, he's got the extra weight to carry, but I didn't think there was any fluke about that whatsoever. He had to kind of do it the hard way. The jockey did say afterwards that he was caught short of room. Sean Davis, who's on today now, he can only claim £5 today as opposed to 7 that day as well. So that's another thing going against him a little bit in that regard. But if that is the form that we're taking as the best form, and I'm not certain that it is either, because there are others to mention here, then there was no fluke about that at all. Aminat, who was in second, is certainly much less exposed and was quite well fancied that day, was well back 7-4 shot that day, second favourite. And look, Dali has been the one who's been back today. Yeah,
Aminat, as you mentioned, I think he stays on 78, doesn't he? Aminat blinkers on for the first time actually for Aminat today as well, who was fancied against Only Spoofing. So that trio with Dali reopposed. Let's have a look at another galloping clue here. This is Blair Main in action. This is the run before last, I think, isn't it, for Blair Main? No, it's not. It's last time out. Last time out at the car, finishing 4th. Big handicap this day at the car, and a good effort in 4th place.
Yeah, this is a nice enough performance. Had run on the 1st of September at the Curran, finishing second to Urban Beat, who was topped up in all directions, particularly, I think it was Kevin Blake mentioned Urban Beat. But there's every reason to think that this is going to suit ideally for Blair Main. It has been quite widely tipped up in the press today. This is another really competitive race. Whether it will just fall perfectly for, looking at this, I mean, there's plenty of these to mention as well, and they're only on the way down to the start, so I think we will get to talk about a few more of them in more detail in a bit.
Yeah, we will, and we'll get a selection off you as well, Kieran. But let's get back on course and see what Kevin's up to.
Yeah, runners just starting to come in today. Parade ring ahead of our Joe McGrath Sprint Handicap. Joining me now is last year's winning jockey, Lee Roach, who, of course, your partner Tillery won there again this year.
Yeah, look, hopefully, hopefully do the same as last year. Quicker ground this year, but drawing out wide, should look at jumping, then roll away and see what he can do. Paul is very happy with him at home. He says he's seen a good form, so please God, he can do it again.
And obviously Paul is 2 runners and he's not here today. Line of Reason, you won on Line of Reason, a big Paddy Power sprint, didn't you?
Yeah, I went up the car on him there 4 or 5 years ago.
First winner from it.
Yeah, it was, yeah, first ride from first winner, so now I've got a nice little partnership with him since, so thank God he keeps using me when he comes back to Ireland.
And Tillery Wonder runs off a £3 lower mark this time around than when winning it last year.
Yeah, so look, hopefully, as I said, look at the ground being a bit quicker. He's won it before, and that, and won heavy ground. He's very versatile on ground wise, so look at all going well, he can jump and try and catch me.
Good stuff, and you have a couple of good rides to look forward to for the rest of the day. Obviously, Power of Now won here and won well in a maiden here the last day of a course, and this is he runs in the Barrister.
Yeah, he does, yeah, look at he's after improving. We thought he would from the run, we thought it might be maybe a week too soon from, but look, he won the last. He's after improving a lot at home in his work. So look, fingers crossed, he's won a big race, I think.
And Michael O'Callaghan's horses are really hitting top form now, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, yeah. Look, he's a good trainer, and the lads in the yard do a great job, so they have him in great nick, and I'm just lucky enough to be in the position to be riding him now.
And Wentwood for the boss, Dermot Wild, in the last won him early on the season.
Yeah, I won him in Listowel there on soft ground. Look at good ground here. Thank God there's not much form in it. I don't think he wants the form, so look, I think he's better going left-handed. Hopefully he'll run a big race, and please God get his head in front.
Yeah, and of course I thought he ran well the last day on horrible ground down in Galway. Wasn't beaten all that far and finishing 6th in a competitive winners race.
Yeah, he stayed on well towards the line. Wouldn't be love it was horrible ground down there. You know, ideally he was probably further back than he probably liked to have been, I'd say, but he came home well and he seems to be in good form at home, and please God he can run a big race.
And you were on track to beat last season's total. What are you on now, 23 or 4?
I think it's 24 now, I think it is, 23, 24, so no, age is not doing a bad job, so we're going alright.
Good stuff, keep it up.
Thanks, Gav.
We've heard from Lee Roach, Tillery Wonders jockey. Now we'll hear from Ammonen's trainer, Dennis Hogan. Real good run behind Only Spoofing the last time. Meet him in a couple of pounds better terms.
Yeah, great run, Kevin, at Navan, behind Only Spoofing, who reopposes again. Yeah, I think that day, our lad seems to stand in the stalls. He's been slow away all his runs, but we've actually tried him in the blinkers today, just so he's not looking around in the gate. So we're hoping that'll make a difference.
He finished second the last Treasure time previous to that. I think that was his first run since joining you, was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he's been second. He's been second for the lads in Navan as well when James trained him. But yeah, the form, obviously Lost Treasure went and won again at Dundalk, so the form is strong. If this lad jumps out, he'll be coming home well, you know.
Good stuff. And Turbine, a word about him in the last.
Yeah, it's a big drop in grade, mind you. It is a lot less money, so just be nice to get his head in front. He's been placed all year, he's done nothing wrong. He's getting the boys a check every day he runs, but just be nice to get his head in front. So hopefully.
Great stuff. Wish you well.
Thanks, Kevin.
Dennis Hogan talking there about Amonart, who is 13-2 in the market, and before that we heard from Lee Roche, who rides Tyler Wonder there, who's a 14-1 shot. Miss Power is now our favourite, Edward Lynham's runner in the Power Silks. Grey mare by Zebedee, she's 9-2. 11-2 Darley now second best in the market, 5-1 the field we bet now. Blair Main 6, 6.5 Only Spoofing, Amonart 6.5, 9 Line of Reason, 10-1 and Bigger Bar those. Kieran O'Sullivan still with us here in the studio. Right, Kieran, what do we like?
It's a very, very open-looking race. I mean, the market tells you that anyway, but looking at the way the pace, the race might work out, there is a lot of pace. You'd expect that anyway. It's a 5-furlong sprint anyway, but and that pace could come from a number of these, and given that there's going to be so much pace on, a good deal of pace on early on, it's going to suit something coming from off the pace, which is going to bring in the likes of Amonart. I think it'll bring in Line of Reason. I know he's an 8-year-old now, but that run last time at Yarmouth, a very different type of track to this, but it was on quick ground. He comes here in very good form. It's interesting that Luke Morris has come over for the ride on this horse as well. I think Line of Reason is interesting at 8-1. Another one then to mention, which is the price has suddenly tumbled on it, so it's kind of gone a little bit, the price, but Abstraction, Natalia Lupini, who of course has also got Blair Main. But if you look at the best form that he has, again, he's an 8-year-old. He's got good form at Naas. He's been placed 2 out of 2 there, but his performances have been pretty good of late. That was a good run at Dundalk over 5 furlongs, but particularly in listed company at Tipperary behind Blue Alluru. Daly was in that, didn't run any kind of race on that occasion, but that's a nice little bit of form to bring in to a race of this standard. Off a mark of 83, has won off a mark of 86 in a similar kind of race to this at Tipperary. Again, a different type of track. That was a good few years back now, you know, so they're trying to get back to that level. So they're kind of the two that stand out for me at 8-1 and 9-1. To take a pick of them because of the way the race is going to work out, coming from off the pace, probably Line of Reason, probably the better value, even though the slightly shorter price at 8-1.
Yep. All set.
All appear in. They're off. They break away in the Joe McGrath handicap over the minimum trip, and Medicine Jack is up disputing the lead with Rapid Reaction, the white cap of Abstraction, and showing good speed in the centre. Last year's winner, Tyler Wonder, who picks it up in these very early stages. They race the end of the first furlong and a half, and left of centre it's Tyler Wonder in front, being followed by Blair Main and Only Spoofing, and in the middle of the track is Abstraction. On the far side is Medicine Jack, and in between horses Rapid Reaction as they pass the halfway stage. Only Spoofing comes now to just pick it up, heads Tyler Wonder. Daly is making ground in the centre, and they're being followed by Medicine Jack, Rapid Reaction, Abstraction, and then comes Line of Reason. They're spread right across, racing towards the final furlong, and as they begin now to race up the hill, Rapid Reaction on the far side has come through to grab them, with Medicine Jack next, and then Line of Reason, but it's Rapid Reaction and apprentice Andrew Slattery home in front by 3 parts. Medicine Jack, then Only Spoofing, Line of Reason, and Blair Main next.
Well, Rapid Reaction is absolutely dotted up here for Andy Slattery, and John Grogan. We'll get a word of John in a minute, but he's a very popular man indeed, John Grogan. He's an owner breeder and a big farmer. He gets plenty of stick for it from just outside Cashel, and he does extremely well at these couple of fillies he had. He had a real good filly a couple of seasons ago. Billy Lee won a couple of listed races on her name escapes me at the minute. Half-sister to this was out of Bratislava as well, but a great performance, a good ride by young Andy Slattery, making a name for himself and taking the 7 off 8-4. Ran from £3 out of the handicap, and it's a race to change complexion a couple of times. Tillery Wonders brought them along a good gallop. Lee Roach beforehand said he was worried about the ground. It was obviously a lot different this year around than last year. Only Spoofing travelled well into the race, but all the action, the race evolved around down the far rail, and Medicine Jack and Rapid Reaction, they pulled clear of the rest of them. Only Spoofing's run a good race as well, all Line of Reason also running a decent race, but Colin Keane and Medicine Jack was the first to go, and Rapid Reaction had won early on this season, just once or twice, wasn't filly that you ride with kid glove treatment, and under a hands and heels drive by Andy Slattery. See, just had to keep her up to her job. If she gets a smack, she's seen in the past that she's just down tools a little bit. But 12-1 Rapid Reaction for John Grogan. Andy Slattery win the ultra-competitive Joe McGrath handicap. Medicine Jack back in second, and Only Spoofing back in third.
It was a good race. The low-drawn horses seemed to enjoy a little bit of an advantage. There's only a few of them that stayed on that side, and 2 of them filled the first 2 places. Rapid Reaction, terrific run. Andrew Slattery claiming 7, which meant that that one carried a little bit of a featherweight, the filly at the bottom there, and Medicine Jack with her. They were drawn 2 and 3, respectively. Also on that side, of course, was Your Fancy Line of Reason, but Luke Morris initially went and joined the other group before going back to that side, interestingly. But good run from the filly, does it well.
She did do it well, and Kevin's right about her, that, you know, that she needs to be careful handling, to say the least. So very, very good ride from Andrew Slattery, and actually there was quite a lot of money for it laid on, which we probably didn't pick up on because you're looking at so many different ones here, but she was at a much bigger price earlier in the day than what she ended up at.
Yep, so 1 or 2 have had a little nibble. More reflections on this after the break.
This programme is sponsored by Bet365.
Son, I'm starting over. I've moved to LA to follow my dream of being an actor. An adult actor.
That's nothing! I've just rented a Maserati Levante for only £79 from Sixt! Yay!
Sixt! Drive smug!
eMove combine the savings of online with dedicated property experts at every step of your sale. Join the eMovement at emove.co.uk.
The autumn sale is now on at Curry's PC World.
Get true-to-life photos with this HP Envy printer for just £59. Sign up to HP Instant Ink and get £30 cash back for a limited time only. It's easy to keep the family safe online with Norton & McAfee Internet Security from only $11.99. Save £110 on this Indesit 7-kilo washer, now just $189. Need a larger load? 9-kilo model is just £40 more. At Curry's PC World, we help you get it right.
Let's go and see a film with Meerkat movies. It's 1 whole year of films with Meerkat movies. 12 months, 4 seasons. The deal is all year long. Get a whole year of 2-for-1 cinema tickets when you buy through Compare the Market. Simple.
From the Heart doesn't read from a training manual. It's completely spontaneous and off-script. From the Heart stays with you and leaves you thinking, I can't believe they actually did that for me. Book at AccorHotels.com. 100% from the Heart.
At Wickes, there's now 50% off all showroom kitchen units when you buy 5 or more. Book your free kitchen design appointment today at wickes.co.uk.
Your heart beats like an engine, a 1-horsepower engine, but magical lucky shoes are nailed to your feet. So when that gun is fired, you run. If you see a jump, you jump.
And you do not drop your driver.
He's a very burly man. You cannot lose. I'm backing you to win by a length, or at least a width.
Don't bet silly, bet savvy.
Get your money back as a free bet if your horse is beaten by a length or less in selected races today. The smart money's on Coral.
My days move pretty fast, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
When you change your point of view, routine can be marvellous. The award-winning Seat Ateca.
This programme is sponsored by Bet365.
Welcome back to Race Day Live. Just have a look back at our Premier Sprint Handicap here at Naas. And breaking smartly from stall number 3, Medicine Jack was prominent early with Abstraction in the white cap, but then Tyler Wonder comes and takes them all on down the centre. And the early focus is more towards the centre of the course, Kieran. But interestingly, 1 or 2 stand their ground on the far side, including the first and second home.
Yeah, and I think that's a very good point. The fact that the pace has been on the far side. And at this point, they're probably just ahead. Medicine Jack is probably just ahead. And in the centre, then, Abstraction has travelled very strongly through the race. And he hasn't been able to live with the pace, though, of this Rapid Reaction, who's really benefited from just tailing through in behind Medicine Jack and coming to pick it up. And that pace on the far side now is becoming very clear and very obvious. Line of Reason, no excuses, couldn't go with them. And in the end, has been just run out of the places. By Only Spoofing, who, to be fair, has upheld the form. It's possible to a degree that the market was concentrating too much on that Navan form with Only Spoofing, Amanat and Gali too.
Can't it, when you've got so much, as you say, form concentrated in the one race? It's understandable, it draws the attention. Fair run from Only Spoofing it down the centre there on his own, and he's done some hard work there, and he's ran on into 3rd place in the end. I think with hindsight, Luke Morris might have think I'd have been better off staying where I was. I was drawn in 1, but he did come across to where there was more action, more cover perhaps, and then switched back a bit. But he didn't run badly.
Yeah, he was well enough beaten, I think, in the end too.
Fair enough. Rapid Reaction, a good winner there of the Joe McGrath Handicap at Naas. Let's get back for more winning reaction on course.
Yeah, we get a word with young Andy Slattery, well done. She's been a good servant here. You won her over course and distance early on the season.
Yeah, I've a 50% strike rate on her now. John's been good to put me up. He's a local man, I know him well. Yeah, she's been very good to me. She's given me 2 winners now, so can't ask for a whole lot more from her. And
under a hands and heels drive, she's a filly who doesn't like a belt, and that's why you didn't go for her, really, isn't it? Yeah, and usually we make the run with her. Today we are happy to take a lead, and I never really had to go for the stick. She was very straightforward today. And you've obviously gotten a right good gallop, haven't you? As you would expect coming into it. Tillery Wonder, Lee Roach brought them along a good pace early doors. Yeah, it suited my own, thank God. Thank God, I've been very lucky now. And Andy, this is your first full season riding. You only got your licence, what was it, last October time last year, September? Yeah, last October, that's it. And things couldn't be going better for you? Oh, couldn't be happier, getting plenty of rides, lots of people looking after me. With loads of help, obviously. It's going well. And obviously weight is never going to be an issue with you. Well, hopefully not so far it's not. And obviously it's a big advantage when you can claim 7 off bottom weight, and just looking at that saddle there's a fine big one. Yeah, hopefully it stays going like this. Yeah. And how many winners is that for the season now, 5 or 6? That's 6 for the season now, so I'm not going to bad at all. Great stuff, well done, we'll let you weigh in. Thanks very much, Kevin. Thanks, Dad. You just get a word here with our winning trainer, owner, breeder, big farmer, as Dennis Bergen calls you down in Cashel as well. What, 2,000 acres, is it? No, 2 acres. Well done, fantastic. You got some kick out of that.
Yeah, but that's what it's all about, isn't it, you know? We rode her out this morning, maybe it made a difference, you know, because she hasn't a great mind, you know, but and she travelled well, what she never done. and good around the stable yard. So you know yourself, it is all tweaking the problems.
And you rode her a little bit differently today. Normally she makes the running, today you didn't.
Yeah, because you could never get her to settle before. Like, she'd always come out, and if you fight her, she'll go grand for 3 furlongs and then 'tis all over, you know. But she's settled great. He told me that he never hit her. I didn't see the last furlong, you know. But more of that, like, that's all we want, you know.
And it's the filly you were saying before, yourself and Andy came up with a plan that she doesn't like a belt behind the saddle, that she can kind of curl up and underneath him.
Yeah. Like, when you take it out and hit her, she just stops, you know. And but in fairness, Conor O'Donoghue, he said to me the last day he rode her in Dundalk, and I said, what will we do? He says she's learning. He says she's getting better the whole time, so at least we learned something.
You're next to her now. Will she stay in training next season?
Yeah, we'll probably cover her, and we'll get 4 months out of her. Well, I don't know, that might all change now tomorrow, you know yourself. 'Tis, we'll have to wait and see. We'll watch it a few times and take it from there.
I was just saying, when I was reviewing the race, you've been very lucky with the family. I couldn't think of the sister's name, the half-sister's name, but of course it was Catla. Yeah. And she won a listed race in York for you. She won a couple of listed races.
Yeah, she won 3 listed races, and she was second in her Group 2 in France. Like, she's, and we have her at home breeding, so we have another one now to go home and have a bit of fun with, you know.
And this is really only a hobby for you, the training side of it.
No, it's not a hobby. We only train what we can't sell. And that one, we had her in Goffs in the Arby sale, and she got a knock the fortnight before the sale, you know, and we just couldn't go, and we ended up with her, you know. But that's the way it goes with horses. You'll always have plenty of problems, you know.
And you've only a couple in, don't you?
Just her.
Just her, that's it?
Yeah. That's
brilliant to win a big pot in the Joe McGrath.
Not like that. Oh, Jesus. I mean, it's only stuff of dreams, you know. So, it's great. It's great, you know. It doesn't happen that often, but thanks be to God it happened today, you know.
And the jockey as well, Andy Slattery. You see quite a bit of Andy.
Oh, yeah. He rode and worked a few times for me there in Willie Brown's. And, you know, like, good jockey, good heading him, and he said it when I got the saddle off him. He said he rode her here, and we had blinkers on her, and she went mad on him. But he knew what he was going to do. If he could get cover, he was going to go for cover. And like, Jesus, she was a different filly today. You know what, you can get cover and don't hassle her. If you hassle her either with the whip or with fighting her, like, she just throws in the towel.
Fantastic, great result, popular winner. You got plenty of cheering and roaring when you were watching it on it, and we'll let you go get the presentation. Well done, John.
Thanks, Kevin, thanks. Okay.